Hello there, adventurers, and welcome to Wally DM. Today our adventuring party has entered a room through a one-way portal. There's only one way to travel, and as they keep traveling through this corridor, they keep circling back to the main room that they arrived in. Now this is actually going to be a type of a maze that the characters are going to need to navigate, and they're going to need a few clues and a few keys. Now this is going to be fully customizable by you, the Dungeon Master, so stay tuned to the end of the video where I give you some tips and tricks on how to make this your own. Now for the demonstration purposes of the puzzle today, I have chosen to use chess pieces, although this is not a chess puzzle, but it is going to have significance on giving the clues to the players so that they can navigate. So before they arrive to this room, I have given them a white bishop that's going to be put into place and start to set the puzzle in motion. So let's get this puzzle started. This one's going to be a maze that is entitled Back and Forth. Before we get started with the video, just a reminder that if you want more puzzle ideas and discussion, to join us over on the Wally DM Discord, and if you haven't picked up my book yet, now's a great time to do it. Pick up Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters, available now on DriveThruRPG. Now let's get started with the video. So in this puzzle, our adventuring party is going to enter a room similar to this layout, but they're not going to enter through a corridor or a door, they're going to enter through a one-way portal. Now once they are in this room, this portal has ceased to function, and they have two ways out. They can go through a door to the east or a door to the west. Now both of these doors are wooden doors with reinforced iron brackets across them, and both of them are unlocked and can be opened. If this door is open, then there is going to be a brick wall behind it. There is no way through the brick wall, it's very thick, and this is just going to be a dead end. If they go through this door over on this direction, it's going to lead to a corridor, and we're going to explore that in just a little bit. Now once again, as part of the puzzle, you're going to need to provide the characters with a piece of the key, and in our situation here, I have chosen to use chess pieces as part of our key, and the characters have a white bishop. Now you can decorate this room however you see fit, but our main focus is going to be over on this fireplace. So if our character, let's say our Dragonborn, comes over and takes a look at this fireplace, they're going to see that there are 4 chess pieces on top of this fireplace, with 2 on the left and 2 on the right, and it looks like there's an empty hole in the middle where their bishop would be able to be placed. And I did forget to mention, so we'll do that now, is that these bishops actually have like a notch at the bottom so that they wouldn't fit on a regular chess piece, they would just fall over. However, with this notch, it would be possible to set this chess piece into a hole and turn it to lock it in place. Now looking at the chess pieces that are up here, and locked into place on the fireplace is going to be a black rook, a white knight, a black queen, and a black king. Now again, this is not a chess puzzle, but these pieces do provide a clue that the characters are going to absolutely need. So if our characters, let's say our Dragonborn, comes back over to the fireplace and takes the white bishop and puts it into place and gives it a little turn, then one of the bricks of the fireplace is going to come shooting out, and with it is going to be a metal key. Now it's up to you as the Dungeon Master is what you want this key to unlock. You can even have it unlock these doors here that to the east and to the west if you would like to do that, or it can unlock a treasure chest or another door later in the dungeon. When I ran this puzzle in a one-shot adventure, this actually unlocked a toy room, so the characters actually knew that this was a key that was going to go somewhere else in the dungeon. But again, you can use whatever you'd like. Now if the characters want to move these chess pieces around, that's also going to be up to you as the DM. Perhaps they're locked into place and can't be removed, or you can allow them to move them around. But the thing to remember is this is the order that they were in when the key was thrown out of the fireplace brick. So now our characters, if they open this door, they're going to see that there's a brick wall there, so the only way for them to travel is going to be to the west. Now, as our characters travel down this corridor, this is going to be a very dark passageway, so those with dark vision are going to be fine, but those without are going to need to have a light source. And I have made this 50-foot long corridor before it turns to the north, and then it's going to be 30 feet there, and then another 50 feet to the west. And of course, I have shortened it so that I could fit it on my battle map. And again, this is something that you could make however you want when you're designing this for your game, but you definitely need to have a bend in there to take away the line of sight from the doors. Now, when our characters come to this door here, this is going to be a wooden door, but it is going to be painted black. It's also going to have iron reinforcements, and it's going to be unlocked. And since there's nothing else to look at or do in this corridor, then our characters can open this black door and they can continue through. Now, as they travel in this direction, this corridor is going to be exactly like the corridor that they just traveled through. It's going to be 50 feet to the west, 30 feet to the north, and then 50 feet to the west. And once again, they're going to come to another door. This door is also painted black and it has some iron reinforcements across it. Now, when our characters go through this door, they're going to arrive back in the room that they started. Now, as they come back into this room, if they were to open this door again, they will once again be faced with a brick wall. If they were to open this door, they could go back down the corridor. So at this point, we can allow our characters to determine that they've actually gone in a circle and they have arrived back in this room. And if they were to go through both of those doors again down the hallways, they would once again come through this door and arrive back in this room here. Now, if you have already figured out this puzzle, then that's awesome, but I do want to give you one more clue before I give you a few moments to figure it out. So let's have our characters travel back through the west and continue on down the corridor. So our adventurers are in the first corridor. They go 50 feet, 30 feet north, and then 50 feet west again. And they come to this door that is painted black and has some iron reinforcements. So they go through this door. And again, if they come all the way down the corridor, they're going to be faced with another door that is painted black and has iron reinforcements. However, if our Aasimar turns around and looks at the door that they just came through that is now shut, then they are going to see that the other side of this door is painted white. And once again, if our characters decide to go through this door here, they're going to enter back into the original room that they came in, technically going around in a circle. So our adventuring characters can probably figure out at this time that they are in some type of a maze, and they're going to need to figure out a pattern in order to break the cycle and continue on. With everything that has been presented, do you know how to solve the puzzle? I'll give you a second if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great. Let's go over the answer. So once again, this is not a chess puzzle, but these chess pieces are providing a key to the puzzle. And it's not the fact that it's a rook, a knight, a bishop, a queen, and a king. It's the fact that when they are put in this order, that a key was thrown out of the fireplace. Now, of course, this key can be used later. It's not relevant at this point. It's just relevant that the fact that they are in the correct order. And now we have to look at the color. We have a black rook, a white knight, a white bishop, a black queen, and a black king. And this is going to signify the order that the doors need to be traveled through. So let's take a look with this setup in mind and go through the solution of the puzzle. So we start with this brown wooden door, which is just a normal door, and our characters can go through it just fine, and they actually enter the maze at this point. Now they're going to come to their first door, and again, this door is painted black. So just as a reminder that the black rook was the first piece that was in the order, so our characters are going to need to travel through the black door. So now that the characters have gone through the first black door, that's going to fulfill the requirements of the black rook. And if you remember, next in the line would be the white knight. So if they go through this black door, then they're going to reset the entire maze and go back to the first room. However, if after they come through that first black door, they turn around and go back through this door, but they're actually going through the white door, the white door will lead them through another corridor, and now they are actually traveling east through a very similar corridor. Now once they get to the end here, after going 50 foot east, 30 foot south, and then 50 foot east again, they're going to come to a white door, or a door that is painted white with iron reinforcements. So if you remember so far, we had the black rook, the white knight, and now we have the white bishop. So our characters need to go through the white door. Coming through the white door, our characters are now faced with another corridor. Again, very similar, but this time, again, they are traveling east, and they have a white door at the end here, but if they were to turn around and look, they will see that this door is painted black, and next in our lineup was the Black Queen. So the characters, after they come through this way, are going to need to turn around and now go through the black door. And of course we're traveling west again, so now our characters come this way, and once again, if they were to turn around and look, they will see a white door that is behind them, and they will see a black door that is in front of them. And of course, if we remember our key, the last piece was the Black King, so our characters need to complete the maze by going through the final black door, and when they do, our characters have successfully navigated the maze, and now they can continue on exploring the dungeon. Of course, if they turn around and try to go back through this door to go back into the maze, there's going to be a brick wall and there's no way to get through. So that is the back and forth puzzle. Now again, you may not want to use the chess pieces, and that's totally fine. So a few other ideas that you could have, and one that could be really tricky to throw at your players, especially if the entire party has dark vision, is perhaps to have some colored figurines. Perhaps instead of chess pieces that are black and white, these are little like soldier figurines that are blue and green, and if your entire party is relying on dark vision to get through, then they're only going to see in shades of gray. So as they go down the corridor, every door is going to look gray to them, and it's going to be very, very confusing. It's only until they light a candle, a torch, or a lantern that they're going to be able to see the colors and be able to navigate it. Now, of course, you don't have to use colors to mark the doors. You could actually have all the chess pieces be the same color. Maybe some of them are a solid color paint while others look worn and used. Or you could just have symbols such as squares and triangles, or perhaps runes or other items that are significant to your campaign. Now, of course, this entire puzzle relies on the fact that your characters are just going through the doors and they're not going to turn around and look, but that is when you're going to be able to give the clues, and if your characters begin to struggle, perhaps you allow them an intelligence or a perception check. As the door closes behind them, they actually turn around and look at the door, and they see that although they went through a black door, when they turn around and look, they're going to see a white door there instead, and that should get their gears turning. Now, another fun idea that you could do is you could have a monster in the main room. So every time that they circle back to the main room, perhaps a ghost or something along those lines is waiting to greet them. Now, if you're a patron of the channel, I'm going to provide a step-by-step guide in a PDF form that you can download today over on Patreon. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure to leave a comment below and let me know how you would customize the key or the clues to the puzzle and how you would run this in your game. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.
No. So we're now in corridor. We're going to go into corridor 2.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through the old wooden door, and then we're going to close it. And we're going to check both ends of that corridor. Okay. Going back is
so assuming
new.
that you're all in corridor 2 now, if you come up and look at this one, that's cracked white, and this one is a fresh coat of white paint.
So we need to go back to the front, turn around and go back the way we came just after we close the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go through there, and you end up in this area here, and then looking back now, it's cracked white.
Okay, so we don't want that.
We need to go through the new door again.
Okay.
The other way.
So you come down through here. You go through the new door, which puts you in this location. As you close it, there's a cracked white paint behind you.
And we go back.
So you
go back to that door.
So you go back through there. You enter this area. On the behind you is a freshly painted white door.
That's the one we use.
Last one we go through again.
So you then go back through it. All right, very good.
Yeah, I hope.